Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Well, today we're looking at a new cigar to me, and it is a revamped version of itself. This is the Jimenes Prestige Churchill. We got you in the shot. There it is. 7 by 47. There is the logo band. Jimenes. There is the density. Not overly heavy in the hand, has an average feel for a cigar of this size. These are made by La Aurora, and it uses a Dominican Corojo wrapper, a Dominican binder, and Dominican and Nicaraguan fillers. I did have one of these just yesterday, and this is going to be on the milder side, but I want to see how it does today with a clean palate, the apple trick, the whole 9 yards. So, sort of long and the short of it. Let's get right to it. The new to me, Jimenes Prestige Churchill. Now, as I said, this is a revamped version. It was first released in the 1970s, and it's been reblended. So here it is again today. All right. No problem with the draw there. And as you can see, I took off as little as I could. Nothing really to report on the pre-draw, pre-test, the dry draw, if you will. Nothing extraordinary. Well, the initial flavors, first and foremost, you have a lot of a sweet white chocolate. There's a lot of white chocolate notes in this cigar. There's a dry cedar and also a tanginess of almost like a citrus. A touch of brown sugar to add to the sweetness and a nice coffee base. Light coffee base. Black pepper at about 6.5. Between 6.5 and 7. It's actually not a bad amount of black pepper at all. And it comes across as very mild, but flavorful at this point. So it's not going to knock anybody down. These average around $9. So maybe a beginner, you see these in a shop, this is a cigar to steer them toward because of the flavors. But let's see how it plays out. That is how you start. Well, I guess I'm about 2 inches in. We'll call this the first third for scoring purposes. And I'm getting a little bit of caramel notes now. I don't have as much cedar anymore, but I do still have that tangy citrus type flavor. Quite a bit of white chocolate, brown sugar, which could be coming from the caramel. Now it's a caramel and brown sugar. And the coffee is actually a little more elevated. It's a little more noticeable. The pepper is very good. It is at a 7-ish, maybe starting to float up a little bit. The finish is a sweet cream with a little bit of caramel aspects on it and a modest amount of lingering black pepper. Still mild, but I like these flavors. It just has, no power. But if a cigar is going to have no power, it better have some pretty good flavors, and luckily this one does. For the first third, I'm going to start the scoring off at an 87. Pretty decent. And all that's based on flavors. There is no power in that score at all. So it's going to have to struggle to maintain that score or to surpass that score. But the flavors are nice. So if you're not looking for anything powerful, but flavorful. This might work in some situations. Let's see how it is at the midpoint. Well, I'm right at the midpoint. I'm very close. I'm going to call it the midpoint. The 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 heavy or the overwhelming type of citrus flavor I had is not there anymore. It's very toned down, and it's almost like there's that mix of a dry cedar again with it. The white chocolate is way elevated, and with it goes the caramel. It's secondary. Some brown sugar to give it some sweetness, but there's a lot of white chocolate now, and the usual coffee base. Pepper is unchanged. Strength is definitely unchanged, just mild. But it's got a lot of nice sweet flavors. Finish is more of a white chocolate and cream with a little more lingering black pepper. But I tell you what's happening. The flavors are really nice and sweet and all that, but because it's so mild, it's causing me to almost lose interest. So, for that matter, I'm dropping it to an 86. It's starting to slide. And it's just because it's so mild. I mean, this has a place in the rotation, but it's going to have to be selective for someone like me or possibly yourself that's been around the block with cigars. So, first thing in the morning or after 6 cigars today, the last one at night, maybe. So 86, great, sweet flavors. There's no problem there, but it's just so mild. Well, we're down to the end, so let's wrap it up. The tanginess sort of came back, tangy citrus type flavor and the dry cedar combination. The white chocolate did decrease somewhat. It is still there. You cannot miss it. But the brown sugar definitely decreased. And the caramel notes are still there, but they sort of decreased. So you've got your white chocolate and a touch of brown sugar giving it most of your sweetness. And the tangy citrus is still there with the dry cedar for the most part. Those are the flavors you're going to really notice. The pepper was still decent. It steadily seemed to gradually increase, but nothing spectacular, but it did increase. The finish is sort of a cream caramel combination still. And it's mild to medium now. Took it forever, but it got there. This is a mild cigar for the most part. And that's what you can expect. But there is a place for those. This final third, because the tanginess came back and what have you, I'm maintaining an 86. So with an 87, 86, and 86 for your scores, I'm going to give it an overall score of 86. Not sure if these are readily available, but if you see them, give it a try. Especially, you got to have something in your arsenal for in the mild category. I mean, most people would like to have a few of those. And if you gravitate toward mild cigars with some flavor, hey, this is it for you. So there you have it. The Leon Jimenes Prestige Churchill, 86.